Farmanfarmaian is a lecturer on international relations of the Middle East at the University of Cambridge. She joins us from London. A very warm welcome to you. So I want to start by asking you what the death of Sinwar means for Hamas's regional allies and sympathisers.
Well, I think it means a lot. It is once again an indication that the group is under extreme pressure. I think the form that it took place is perhaps less disturbing than the Hania assassination. This one seems almost to have been a killing by mistake. It was young officers. It was not based on a great deal of intelligence. And I think that, in fact, the larger regional concern is still that it's bracing for the retaliation by Israel against Iran after Iran's missile attack earlier this month. So I think it's a very important step in that, once again, a leader of Hamas has been killed. There are others in the wings that will take his place. It has not decapitated the group, but I think that it is less shocking than perhaps the assassination of Hania.
I know back in July there were efforts made, wasn't there, between Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, many different factions of the Palestinians, 14 I understand, including Fatah, including Hamas, to overcome their differences and strengthen their bonds. I mean, what does the death of Sinwar mean for the secular Palestinian Authority, for instance?
Well, I think it's very much under siege as well in this war. It is one of the players of the various pieces on this board. I think the Chinese have actually been quite crucial in this particular case. They brought the different factions of the Palestinian groups together to try to find a common narrative, should and if there be an opportunity for them to present a single voice in some kind of negotiation for a day after, for an independent state or in any case a Palestinian entity. And so I think it's important to realize that Sinwar did not speak for anyone but Hamas. And I think some of the possible leaders that might take his place are more hardline than he was. And then there are some, such as Khaled Meshaal, should he step back into becoming head of the political, he was head of the political directorate of Hamas. If he becomes head of Hamas, he's a more negotiation expert, a little bit like Al-Hania. So it depends on who comes into Hamas. But I think the overall narrative is still quite fractured among the different Palestinian groups.
You mentioned Khaled Meshaal there. I mean, he was somebody who lived in exile first in Damascus, right? And then he spent his time split between Egypt and Qatar, seen, as you say, something as a sort of political pragmatist, somebody that could speak to people on international levels as opposed to Yahya Sinwar. Do you think somebody like that would potentially take Hamas down a more pragmatic road, though? For instance, accepting the temporary independence or formation of a Palestinian state in the occupied West Bank on a temporary basis, do you think?
Well, it somehow depends on what is the next step that Israel decides to take. Once again, if the next step is an attack on Iran, Iran's foreign minister at the moment is on a tour through the Gulf. He's just finished speaking for the first time, actually, after many years with the president of Egypt. He had a meeting with al-Sisi, and the effort is very much to find stronger support for the Iranian perspective, but also for an Islamic role in this whole negotiation. So my feeling is that Hamas itself has lost Sinwar, who was very much a military leader, and that they have little interest in stepping back on the military effort. And so my inclination, but I have no basis upon which to really state this, except to say that they will probably choose a military leader rather than a political one at this stage, because to them the fight is not over yet either.
Okay, Roxane Farmanfarmaian, Lecturer on International Relations and the Middle East at the University of Cambridge. Pleasure to have you on Al Jazeera and to hear your thoughts and analysis. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.